YouTube, what is going on? Listen, today we are looking at the Stylecraft Rival. I know it's just a black box, but we got some good stuff in here, okay? So let's check it out. Okay, so let's open this box up and see what is inside. First things first, we have the clipper itself. This is how this looks. Comes in a nice bright white and blue. We have an all metal back here. This is all metal. All this white part is painted metal. And the front is plastic. We have a nice little thumb grip right here that's textured. Does a good job of kind of, being held in place. Good ergonomics on the back. We have a loop. I like this, a hanging loop. I love this right here. This is my favorite just because, again, I'm old school, but whatever. We have the on and off switch. Sounds good, not too loud. We got 7,500 RPMs. We got a battery life, which is low because I've been using it. The lever here, which is a floating lever. It is not a click lever. It does feel good. The blade, we have a taper blade, a Stylecraft taper blade. Let's try to get a closer look. It is zero gappable. I did get a good zero gap on here. I'll try to get you a little view of it. All right, no problem. You have a nice cutter blade on the bottom. Maybe a hair heavy compared to most of your clippers nowadays. So, anyone who has small wrists, some of you, small dudes out there, you might have an issue with this, but I don't see it to be a problem for me. So, let's see what else is in the box. We have the manual. We have some clipper guards. Looks like we have the 1 to the 4 or the half to the 4. So there's 6. And I already had this open. We have a nice long cord. This is, to me, the best type of cord. Whether it matters or not, it plugs in solid to the clipper, okay? This, to me, is what matters. I'm going to show you. Plugs in solid. It's almost hard to get in, right? So this way, if you do have to use it with the cord attached, it's almost like if it's a corded clipper. Again, we're not trying to do that, but if you have to, it plugs in tight. And then this line here is thin, so it's really not weighing you down. You don't want a thick cord if you don't have to have one. Bottle of oil. Then you have your clipper brush. All right, so if we're going to be truthful about this clipper, it's really not a bad clipper at all, okay? So it was, I'm not going to say heavy, but, it had a little bit of extra weight to it, mainly because the back of it is metal. Now, to me, I'm fine. I have no problem cutting with anything. I cut with the biggest clippers all the time, effortlessly, 70 cuts a week. It's not a problem. For some of you guys, smaller guys, whatever, maybe you have wrist issues and, can't handle a heavier clipper. This is not the lightest there is, go find something else. Just being straightforward with you. But as far as performance, it does everything very well. It sits at the 7,500 RPM speed for your motor, and it is solid. It cuts very good through bulk. It has no problem, no issues fading. And one thing I want to mention is you have the pad on the inside of the clipper blade, or inside the clipper where the blade is, that stops hair from going inside the clipper. You will have sometimes where the hair, if you're kind of taking the bulk down on someone's head, hairs get caught in there and they start getting stuck and they start piling up where the guard is, and it's enough to where you have to clean it out. This is something where I would recommend the guards that came with the clipper are going to be the guard you're going to be using, because they have, I'm not going to say less shallow teeth, but teeth that hang over on the blade side that moves, when it wraps around the clipper on the front end, it is shallow. The teeth don't come back as far as other brands do, and this allows hair to just roll away. Now, I like using different clipper guards, and I did have a problem where hair was getting stuck. Again, it's not the biggest issue. You use the guards that came with them, you don't really have a problem. So I'm putting that out there too. The blade cut nice. It is a taper blade. I am more of a fade blade kind of guy. That's just me. But it did a good job fading. I ended up doing some haircuts and they came out, flawless, no problems. At least to the human eye. For camera, but that's just how it is. Now, the blade does have the oil reservoirs on the back, so this way it kind of keeps the blade cooler longer because you're able to put some oil in there. Maybe it holds on to it for a while, maybe it doesn't. But that's in general. I don't know how well that works, but I can tell you This clipper blade does not get hot. It does not get hot. It'll stay cool the whole time. I averaged about 5% of the battery life per cut, and each cut, you know, again, by the time I started to the time I finished, the blade was pretty much the same. It never really got hot at all. So, you know, as far as the way it's put together, it's built well. The battery life was good. It did say it had 3 hours. I usually prefer more, but I can tell you I was able to cut 2 straight days before charging, which is 30 haircuts for me. And I think that was kind of crazy because I'm used to, you know, I'm used to a 3-hour clipper kind of getting low by the end of the day. So maybe I'm cutting more efficient. Maybe it's the battery life's a little better than what they're stating. That very well could be. I've seen battery life be worse than what companies are stating, but in this case, to me, it seemed a little bit better than 3 hours. But again, it could be me. Either way, the battery life is fine. You get a lot of haircuts out of it. Again, I get around 30 total before I have to plug it in and charge it. Now, I can tell you overall, this clipper performed, even for being a cheaper clipper, like I think it's like $70 or something like that, give or take. For being a cheaper clipper, this performs just as well as all your other high-end clippers, for the most part, with the standard motor. I will tell you, I think this clipper is better with one of Stylecraft's better blades. Now, I swapped to an Echo blade, and this thing was like money. So if I'm going to recommend this to a certain type of barber or hairdresser, I'm going to recommend it to someone who is newer, someone who doesn't want to spend the money on something bigger or better, someone who doesn't care about the weight or the clipper weight in their hand. Again, these are not the heaviest, but, you know, a little bit heavier than average. And someone who is just a clipper head and wants to have a great clipper body, great motor, quiet motor, and have something they could toy around with and swap the blades out and do mods and stuff. This is the perfect clipper for that. So I would definitely recommend in that case checking into it. Links are down below. Hope you guys like this video. Comment, subscribe if you get a chance. And I appreciate you watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.